Hey everyone, it's Ryan Howe with Small Business News. I'm a business coach that works out of West Michigan and in and around the country. And this is the show where I share just some of the information I share with my clients every single day. And today, no different than others, we've got some data points that came in. We're going to check it out right now. Let's get to it. So again, links to everything we're going to talk about will be in the description in that general area. And I hope to earn your subscription today. Now with that, U.S. job openings increased and the trend is still slowing. This is by Lucia. Mutakani? Sorry if I'm butchering your name there. Again, out of Reuters. Here's the summary TLDR. Job openings increased 221,000 to 8.14 million, and layoffs rise 112,000 to 1.654 million, and quitting still at the same rate. U.S. job openings rose in May after posting outsized declines in the prior 2 months, but the trend remained consistent with an easing in labor market conditions that could pave the way for Federal Reserve to cut interest rates this year. You know, the biggest piece that they have here, they want these interest rates be cut so bad in order to juice up the economy. The problem that the Fed is up against is that inflation is ticking back up again, specifically in transportation and your fuel costs. It's making its way now into produce as well, because what tends to happen in these type of supply shocks scenarios, it's multiple waves of inflation. But anyways, let's get into this other spot. So the job openings and labor turnover survey, JOLTS report from the Labor Department. So if you've never looked into the JOLTS report before, we're going to take a look at it. It's pretty interesting to see how they parse the data, because there's two ways that when I'm looking at labor reporting, it's between the NFIB, the National Federation of Independent Business Owners survey, and then whatever we're getting from the Labor Department and the JOLTS report. So we get two, and ADP has their own thing as well. So there's multiple ways that we're looking at the same information. All right, showed that there are 1.22 vacancies for every unemployed person in May. It's unchanged since April and the lowest vacancy to unemployment ratio since 2021. April's ratio previously had been estimated at 1.24. The ratio is now not too far away from its average of 1.19 in 2019. So the data are pointing to an ongoing normalization between supply and demand for labor. Again, the chief U.S. economist of high frequency economics. From a policy perspective, the Fed's challenge going forward to be keep rates at a level that not only helps keep inflation in check, but also prevents unnecessary damage to the labor market. And that's what I was saying. They need to start thinking about lowering the rates, because the cost of capital is going to be too high, which is going to cause businesses to increase layoffs even more. All right. Data for April was rise lower to show 7.919 million unfilled positions instead of the previous reported 8.059. And economist polls by Reuters had forecast 7.91 million job openings. It is what it is. They're always going to be revising things up and down, and it's just the nature of the beast. And then unfilled positions peaked at 12.182 million in March 2022. They have declined by 1.2 million over the year. So, you know, again, that's healthy to get it back down to there. They've been filling those spots. Again, you got to remember, a lot of that was during the Great Resignation, where there was a constant stream of people leaving their work in order to find work somewhere else. Now, additionally, there were 117,000 job openings in state and local government, excluding education. Vacancies increased 97,000 in durable goods, rose 37,000 in federal management. Unfilled jobs decreased 147,000 in accommodation and food services, while private educational service saw 34,000 reduction in job openings. A gradually rebalancing labor market and subsiding inflation are drawing U.S. central bank closer to beginning the easing cycle. Canada and Europe already did, but they're in a bit more dire straits than we are in the U.S. With that, we're not far behind them. And the thing is, I just want to remind everybody, the time to worry is not when rates are high. The time to worry is when rates start getting cut. That means things are starting to break where they need to lower the interest rate. Okay. Just FYI on that. Don't forget that. All right. So let's take a look at some of the overall charts we've been dealing with here. Again, you can just see, again, the red is going to be the JOLTS data that we were talking about, where it's been normalized as far as coming down. You can see this is where its peak was at. The right, and on our right axis is going to be the NFIB percent of companies with one or more hard jobs to fill. Right. So that's got us sitting at 42% of companies that have one or more hard to fill job. This isn't like a frontline one. They have specific requirements that they need, and they cannot find the people for it. That's what they're saying right now. And you can see that jump up since the beginning of 2024. But again, the trend overall is making its way down. But this, if you've ever studied charts, it just broke trend. So we'll see what that means in the future. Hiring rises. Let's take a look at here. So U.S. continuing jobless claims and new hires. So again, continuous jobless claims. So this is one they don't want to see, where continuing jobless claims in the millions are at 1.8 million are on, this is more than one, basically 1 month on unemployment over their jobless claims, right? Those continuing. And then we got the new hires in millions, right? Again, this is out of JOLTS, where it has peaked up a little bit, but at the same time that we have an increase in our overall new hires, we're also seeing continuation in jobless claims. All right, so let's get to the next spot. Here's going to be quits versus consumer expectations. So the thing is, the reason they're tracking this is because, and why this is so very important, is people only tend to quit their jobs when they're confident they can find more work, when they're confident that they can survive and continue to pay the rent and feed their family while they're looking for new work, or they don't just quit just to quit. Okay, that's the psychology behind it. So consumer expectations, they've been dropping, right? This has continued to come down here for a while. We saw a nice little uptick, but it's rolling over, and now we're getting back down here. So our consumer confidence has a long way to go to get back up. And you can see quits, though. People had over here, no problem quitting during the Great Resignation. Now, as inflation has continued to rear its ugly head, we have seen the quits in millions consistently drop. Okay, to now we're at the point where, okay, we may be bottoming at this level. So we'll see. And again, that's really all I wanted to cover today. This is, when it comes to this information, it's good just to have this data top of mind. When I'm looking at this and what I'm sharing with my clients is, it's still difficult to find skilled labor. That's what the NFIB percent of companies with one or more hard jobs to fill, right? That was up around 42, where that had gone up. 42% of companies, they cannot hire skilled individuals at the moment. But again, job openings are continuing their downward trend. So that is going to eventually mean, in theory, that as the job openings continue to drop, it'll be easier and easier to fill those positions because there'll be less openings available for those skilled folks. That's what I'm trying to talk with my clients on, and tell them not to just hire anybody to hire anyone. You want to make sure you get the right fit for the work that you have. So with that, thank you for stopping by today. I appreciate it. Hopefully I earned your subscription, and take care, and I will see you tomorrow.